Smart Home HQ. This is episode number 33. You can find the show notes online at smarthomehq.net/033. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode, not a live episode, but another episode. I am recording both video and audio, and I will upload the video portion of that to YouTube later. But I'm going to work on making some background improvements and lighting and cameras before I try to shoot back over to the live scene. Get a little bit better at talking and producing some of these live videos, and I will get those back up and running. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about some of the SmartThings apps that I use. Just a few of them, not too terribly much here. Keep it short for your commute into work or home or however you or whenever you listen. But I want to thank Van out there on Twitter for recommending this. You can find some more information about Van over at about.me/van3. That's VAN and the number 3, about.me/van3. Van has been listening to the podcast for quite some time. He's been very interactive, gives a lot of feedback, asks a lot of questions, and I greatly appreciate it. Again, guys, if you want to get involved, feel free to. I'm never going to turn you away. I'm going to do what I can to help you. I've got an inbox full of people that has emailed in, and I've answered their questions and helped them come up with some solutions of their own. So, again, that is feedback at smarthomehq.net. Feel free to send an email anytime. Social media as well. I answer things as fast as I can, and I try to give you guys all the best answers I can possibly give you. So one of the apps I want to talk about on the SmartThings, and this is a SmartThings app. Again, this isn't a Apple App Store or Google App Store app. This is in the SmartThings application itself. They allow you to go in and add what they call applications. So I connected a Philips Hue, or my Philips Hues are connected to SmartThings. And when you do that for the first time, it's going to walk you through a little wizard. It says, what do you want to do with this? What kind of actions do you want to take place when other actions happen? So what I do, go into my SmartThings lab folder here. I do a couple variations of a night light mode. The first one is my Hue morning. And basically all this app says is I would like to use the Hue bulbs, the ones that I have upstairs. And when the at 6 o'clock in the morning hits, specifically 6 a.m., I'm going to change the color to orange. And it lasts for a couple hours. I've seen it a few times. I know it works, but 6 a.m. is pretty early, and I've only seen it a few times. The one that I like that's pretty neat is my Hue siren, and I'm still working on this. I really want to get it to fluctuate and pulse like the red alert from Star Trek. Come on. You have smart bulbs that can turn red. They also have a function built in that lets you flash them. What computer nerd doesn't know the red alert from Star Trek? Come on. It's just me? Okay, I'll be the only nerd here. Whatever. If I can get this sucker to flash, basically on this one, I have it set to the same Hue bulbs, and I have it set to when a switch is turned on, but instead of a light switch, it's the siren. So anytime the siren turns on, it will light up red on all my Hue bulbs. Now, I'm still trying to get it to work to flash. If I could get that to work, I would probably get the light strip and wrap it around like an acrylic box or something and stencil on red alert just so it would flash red alert. That'd be so cool. I'll work on that. That'll be another project. Anyway, that's all that's simple. And I've got another rules that are set up that says, if water's detected, turn the siren off and siren on. If smoke's detected, turn the siren on. If the alarm's set and the doors or windows open, turn the siren on. And then, obviously if the siren turns on, the lights turn red. Really cool. Now, the one that I get the most use out of, because I really don't want to get a whole lot of use out of the red one, unless I test it and manually do it or something. The morning one, I've only seen a few times. The one I get a use out of every single night is my nanny, or my tattletale light. Tattletale. It's actually on the app. It's called the Hue Nightlight, but it's just pretty simple. It says if any motion is detected during night or alarm modes on the upstairs sensor, change the color to bright blue. Light blue is just easier in night. Cool thing about this app, or the way this works, if I'm already using the lights in the bedroom and I'm reading a book and it's on bright, or it's on relax, or whatever you set up in your Hue app, or your Hue app, it will remember that. So SmartThings will say, hey, there's motion detected. It'll turn it blue. 5 seconds or so later, it'll turn it back to what you had it. So that doesn't interrupt your reading, but it gives you a brief notification that says, hey, some motion's going on. Time for you to pay attention and listen. Somebody had a bad dream or whatever the reasons, and you can prepare for that instead of someone busting through the door screaming, I had a bad dream, or there's a monster under the bed. Now you've got it taken care of. You got at least a somewhat of a brief heads up saying that someone's coming. And like in my situation, we're all upstairs, so big benefit is all the bedrooms are upstairs. A big benefit for it is I can, if I'm watching a TV show or I'm listening to an audiobook, I can hit mute real quick and listen because I want to know if they're trying to get through the stairs. That's still a risk at their age, and I want to make sure that we're prepared for that, and we can see if they're messing with the gate at the top of the stairs. So that is a very useful way of just a very useful app. That I utilize to make sure that there's nothing going on, or I'm paying enough attention when I need to be paying attention. Not that you shouldn't be paying attention all the time, but at nighttime you like to read or watch something on TV. So the other ones we'll have to go back to your dashboard and visit your My Apps. You may not actually have anything in there. This is the section that applications that you've made specifically will show up. And I've modified two. I've modified the SmartThings Notify Me When app, and I've added pushover notification. And I'm referring to pushover, the app pushover, not push notifications that's built into iOS or Android. And to be fair, I had the pushover app before the push notifications through SmartThings themselves were really spot on, a little spotty in the beginning. Okay, so this one, I actually already had the app. I used it on Android, I used it on iOS, and I use it on all my work devices. So I already have it. It's a license and everything that I didn't just go out and buy this app. If you do not use the pushover application, don't worry about it. You probably won't get any benefit to this at all. But if you do use it, then you can modify the Notify Me When app and add this little bit of code in there, and it'll actually start sending you push notifications to all of your devices through the pushover application. And then the second one I modified was the Sonos Music app, or Sonos Notification app. And all I did was swap the audio from the SmartThings options with audio that I recorded myself. And I did that by replacing the AWS Amazon hosted media that's included in the script with ones that are either from Dropbox or the server that I have in the house running a web server and hosting the MP3 files. Now, you're thinking this probably isn't all that special, right? But let me take you back a little bit, because this is actually a really key moment that the SmartThings system, or home automation in general, actually started being accepted in the house. The key of changing your home to a smart home, and adding those home automation gadgets and devices in there, is getting the sign off on, getting the sign off from everyone else in the house, your spouse, your children, your roommates. How I accomplished this was I took notifications that Sonos was already doing through SmartThings, like your door's open, somebody's home, smoke detected, water detected, and weather. And I wrote a script, and I let my kids record their own audio. It uses their voice, same notifications or slight variation of those notifications, but it's coming from them. So they get excited every time they hear it. It gets them excited with the home automation. It gets them excited with the technology. Gets them excited with using the computer to edit audio and mic and mixer and all this good stuff to record their own voice. And my wife just enjoys that as well, and she likes it. So it gets everyone involved, and that's going to be key when you're trying to convert your home into a smart home, you have to get everyone involved. If somebody doesn't like it and adamantly refuses to accept the way that you're changing the house and the new equipment that you're using and trying to get used to and customize, it's gonna slow your advancement there. So key is to get everyone involved and find something enjoyable. And this was a really good way of doing that for me. And my kids loved it. So what do you do? Now, I talked in other episodes about how you get into the dashboard and how you create your own apps. We did that through the Smart Tiles apps. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to create a new app, and you're going to browse for the old app that you want to customize. So as soon as you go in and you create your new app, and you get your blank screen with no code in there at all, on the top right-hand corner, you have this section or this link and this is all on the dashboard, by the way. This is graph.api.smartthings.com. And you've went to the My Smart Apps section, and you've created an app. You filled in all the information about your app and picked your icons. And if you don't know how to pick your icons or where to get icons from, I got a cool little link I'll put in the show notes. And it's a site that briefly lists out all the icons that are available for use in SmartThings. And it's got a lot of It has a lot of icons that doesn't pull up automatically within your smart apps when you want to customize things, but it has color apps, and it puts all these. Sorry, I keep saying apps, but it's icons. It has all these icons, black and white icons, and color icons, and icons for specific device like Quirky and the video video doorbell. Sorry, couldn't think about it off the top of my head. It's got color for icons for weather, and there's a lot of icons here. So I'm going to put that in the show notes. You can use these. All you got to do is right click on the icon that you want to use, copy the URL, and paste that into your smart app, and it will use it. It'll actually publish that and push it to your list of apps on your phones and your mobile devices. So back to the Sonos one. I'm going to start with the Sonos one. I loaded on the top right hand corner of your app screen. When you're looking at the code box, you've got Browse Smart App Templates. And when you click on that, it gives you all kinds of pre-existing apps that you can click on, and it will give you the code that you need. All you do is copy and paste that code, and you paste it into your app code box. I know it sounds a lot of redundancy there, but basically you're browsing existing templates, you click on it, it gives you a pop-up, and it has a bunch of code in there. Highlight it all, right-click, copy the code. Now go back to the smart app that you just created. And it's currently giving you a blank screen. It's white, and it may have some information that you typed in on the about your app, like the name of it and who's making it right now. But click on a blank line, right-click, and paste. And that'll paste your template in there. From there, you can go and customize to your heart's and get, you can mess it all up royally, and then you just delete it and start over, or you can just keep banging away at it and make all the customizations you want and learn a lot. Now, you don't have to be a hardcore programmer to kind of go in and modify the things that they've already done and customize it. All I did was I found the section that said case dog barking, case fire alarm, case the mail has arrived. I took their default things and I changed it from where it said Amazon, AWS.com/media, SmartThings, and blah, 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 MP3. And I highlighted it all, and I replaced it with where my MP3 files were. Again, I have a web server that I just put on an old computer. It doesn't have to be fast and fantastic. It's only SmartThings and Sonos pulling from it. But you can use Dropbox, too. When you share your MP3 players on Dropbox, it gives you an option to copy a link. And it's a link to that MP3 file. You can put that in the code, and that will let you just put your files on Dropbox, and you can update them whenever you want, or you go back and edit the code, or it's really customizable. The key here is SmartThings and your Sonos speakers have to be able to get to it. The reason I ultimately didn't choose Dropbox and I went with a server running on one of the old computers is because I feel, however you want to put that, is that if it's local and it doesn't have to go out on the internet, it could be faster, more dependable. The stream won't be choppy if there's a lot of bandwidth going on. I've got kids, so there's games being played, Netflix being watched. There's all kinds of things going on. So this is hopefully keeping the audio smooth sounding and not have to worry about bandwidth issues. And that's all you do. And you can copy and paste this again, and you can make more sounds. The only thing you have to do is where it says case the mail has arrived, you have to scroll up to where it says there's a list at the top that lists all the sound options around all the action options, and you just have to make sure they exist in both places. But that's it. And you can, like, I have custom ones in here. Instead of some blank has arrived or SmartThings presence has arrived, I actually changed it to, the Chevy has arrived or the Dodge has arrived, and you can change it to Mommy and Daddy has arrived or whatever you want. You can customize this to, to do whatever you want and point to any MP3 file. So that's it. That's all you have to do on that one. And you're basically using a template that SmartThings provides, and you just change the audio file that's there. And you can record whatever you want. If the Sonos can play it, it will play it. So that's the SmartThings integration. That's the Sonos integration into my SmartThings. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Basically, again, you create a new app, you give it a title, you copy the template for the SmartThings player already, SmartThings notification, and then you just change your audio files. You do have to have a dashboard. So SmartThings dashboard login, which all you do is sign up and they give you one. So it's just one more step involved. But again, customize it. If you break it, just delete it, start over. Just stay in the smart app section. If you go into the My Device or My Hub section, you could end up removing devices from your network if you're not comfortable with messing around with that. So I would stay out of there if that's not something you're comfortable with doing. Now, the push over alert. That, again, is just a modification of their template for Notify Me When. And then I found a site that has, it's actually the SmartThings community, but I found a post from a user that has pushover notifications using HTTP. So it's just using the internet to integrate that. It has the code here listed on what you need to copy and paste into the SmartThings app to make this work. And you just, again, it's another copy the code, paste it in. First, you're going to copy the code for the Notify Me When. I mean, that's just the one that I used, and you paste it in. And then you go to this other one, pushover notification section. Our pushover notifications using HTTPS. You copy the code. There's a couple groups of it. There's a group for the configuration for your account. It's got your API key, your user key, device name, and priority. And then underneath that, it keeps scrolling, and you've got a longer code that actually integrates and actually performs the action, and you just paste that into your Notify Me When, and that will add your pushover notification. Once you have all these apps saved, you have the code in there, you just save it. So you're looking at your custom application that you made. It's the code screen that has all the code that you just typed in. You hit save, and then you hit publish. Once you publish that, it's published to your phone. So you can go into your My Apps section. So go to your dashboard, scroll to the bottom, and click on My Apps. And that will list your application, and you just click on it and configure it just like any other application. So those are the apps that I use on my phone, that I use on my SmartThings system. And it's just a couple. You've probably seen them. You probably don't like them. You probably won't use them. But that's what I have for now, and it's a good start. I mean, that will not only get you into customizing your system, helping it become a system that's more custom to your home and your family, get everyone involved. Again, you gotta have mine example. Is Sonos, so you may have to pick another one and try to customize it even more. Maybe it's the Hughes or something else. But yeah, I mean, it's a good start. Get you into the dashboard, get you playing with the apps and the templates, get you more comfortable with it, and it customizes it. So those are what I use. Those are the more advanced ones, not the normal ones. There's a bunch more that I use. If you have any requests on specific examples on different times of days, or how you would do a specific action, or call a group of actions or whatever, just reach out. Let me know. We'll come up with something together, and I'll put something together for you. Next week, I want to talk about the Iris garage door opener. There's a newer model that has come out. It's been out for a little bit, but local Lowe's finally has it. I'm going to pick up one of those. It's Z-Wave certified, and I've found through the SmartThings that they actually do support that. So I'm going to pick one up. I'm going to install it. I'm going to record it while I install it and give you that feedback. I'll probably push the video for the installation of that straight to YouTube. I probably won't include that during the audio portion. Obviously, it's mostly video. And I'll get on next time and talk to you about how that went and how well it works and if it's worth the cost. Local Lowe's has it for about $80 right now. So if you factor in the cost of the SmartThings relay and the time and effort involved to get, the Z-Wave relay, not necessarily one made by SmartThings. They do have it on their store though. But by the time you factor in all that, the wiring and coming up with something crafty, this may be a really quick install, and it may be worth the $80. So we'll see you next time, right? Thanks for tuning in. Again, I greatly appreciate it. I always enjoy the feedback that you guys provide. If you're looking at different options on how you can support the show, check out the smarthomehq.net/support. It's got some links on there for Amazon and a little store and Patreon. But the one thing I would like to ask, if you guys are still listening at this point, the music has already started rolling, is if you like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. I put a link in the show notes that says click here to rate on iTunes, or if you're using the podcast app through the iOS, please check that out and click on rate. Give it some feedback, give me a rating. I'm trying to get that bumped up a little bit. I got one right now, and oh man, that's awesome. Thank you for putting that in. I will keep you all updated on how many ratings there are or whatnot if they start rolling in, and thank each and every one of you. Again, I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, it's time to make your home smarter.